Welcome to Hank's Health Connection. This is really part one for the platform of wellness, and we're going to talk about inflammation. Inflammation is really at the root of almost every disease that exists, certainly every aggravated ailment. Inflammation is one of the primary problems that we have. And antioxidants historically are we're talked about antioxidants removing inflammation or removing free radicals. And free radicals are at the core of inflammation. Antioxidants, ORAC value, all these things that were talked about in relationships to reduction of free radicals. And Tufts University came out with an ORAC value. An ORAC value is really a level of the amount of antioxidant capacity of some substance. But they never really told us whether or not how high an ORAC value should be or could be before it's good or bad. They just determined that ORAC was a measurement. And we create a tremendous amount of free radicals just by breathing, converting oxygen for us to live. And that's why when we work out, we create a tremendous amount of free radicals. And we're really have a reduction or a reduced amount of oxygen after we work out. It's very difficult. Well, taking oral antioxidants is the same as putting a drop of water in a pool. We need the whole pool to reduce the amount of free radicals that we have active in our bodies. And when we have an injury, we have something really wrong, we have an autoimmune problem, we have tremendous amounts of inflammation involved. And I'll tell you a little story about my own personal experience with inflammation. About 9 years ago, I was paragliding on a day that I shouldn't have flown, and I crashed. I broke my back. I broke L5. I crushed a number of things, crushed L1. It was really pretty bad. And I decided, with the help of a good, honest neurosurgeon, not to have a global fusion done on my back. I decided, since I've been a health coach for about 25 years, maybe I could coach my own way through this mess that I was in. And I did do well. I recovered. I used all the things that I know how to use. I used an inversion table. I used frequency generators. I used aromatherapy. I used everything that I've ever known and been taught to do. But I didn't have a life. I didn't know what my limitations were. If my grandkids would run at me, I'd be frightened. It was very, very difficult for somebody in their 60s who was very, very active to basically end up in that condition. And a very dear friend of mine introduced me to a man by the name of Clint O'Bear. And Clint, some years before that, had discovered what happens when your bare feet touch the earth. And a fantastic thing happens, and that is that you begin to pull in an unlimited supply of free electrons back into your body. We call that earthing, instead of being grounded. And so earthing really is bringing back in free electrons. Well, free electrons effectively are the reason why we eat fresh broccoli, for free electrons, for antioxidants. It's tremendous what it does. But again, remembering what I mentioned about the drop of water in the pool, when we take oral antioxidants, when we touch the earth, we're touching the pool. We can get the entire pool coming into our body as antioxidants to knock out free radicals. Well, I got all excited when I heard about that. They didn't have any products at the time, but I was able to take some conductive patches and hooked a bunch of wires up. I had a hole in my wall going out to a rod in the ground, and that's primarily how I slept, hooked up to the earth. And my nerve reactions, this inflammation that I had when the S1 nerve root in my right side got active, I was in real trouble. And that started subsiding, and that started going away. And now, almost 4 years later of sleeping this way, and now we have full sheets and pillowcases, we have silver yarn in the material hooked up to the ground in the wall, so it's real easy. But now my morning workouts are as aggressive as they were before I broke my back. And at 68, I have recovered so well that the last MRIs that I had doesn't even show the damage. Now, it wasn't just being connected to the earth, it's all the other things that I was doing, but sleeping for over almost 4 years now without inflammation, that's the reason that I've recovered the way I have. So it just allows nutrition and other therapies and everything else work better because in the inflammatory reaction to wounds and to healing and to autoimmune problems, that's the debilitating part of trying to heal. So give it a try yourself. Go outside on a nice warm day, get a comfortable chair, and put your bare feet on the grass and see how you feel in an hour. You'll have more energy, you'll have less pain, and it's all because you're touching the earth with your bare feet. So if I can ever help, if anybody ever has any questions, don't hesitate to give me a call. I'd be delighted to share it with you. Or you can go to the site that's listed on the end of this piece. So anyway, try it. Understand that we should have never disconnected. We should have never worn the kind of shoes that we wear today. We should always be connected to the earth. So give it a try. It'll turn your whole world around, and it'll just give you the kind of longevity that you really deserve. So take care, and we'll see you next time. Take care.